Hello friends, I hope you all are doing well. So welcome to my YouTube channels. And again, I'm going to share with you one more scenario, that real-time scenario that I faced in the last week, where I have to fix that data, and that was a production issue, and we have to fix that in just 4 hours actually. And that was S1 issue actually, and that requirement came to me from my techno manager. So let me share my screen, and I will share you the what is the exact issue that we have to fix. Okay, so let me share my screen and let me go to my SQL Studio. I hope my screen is visible now. Okay, so there's issue. So this task was related. That issue was related to the insurance domain. Okay, so there was one plan, insurance plan, that was not able to edit from the client side actually, and that was the problem. So here are the two tables. Okay, first is select start from FLDR is the schema, so from folder is the table. Okay, so this is the folder and this is the folder version. Okay, so whatever the folders I have for this folder, this is my folder ID, and that folder ID becomes my reference key in my folder version tables. Okay, so we'll understand this issue, what is the issue actually, and that we have to fix. Okay, so we'll try for one folder. Okay, so always whenever you got the requirement, try to fix that for one single unit. Okay, so for one single row or for one single unit. So in my case, there's one insurance plan, so I have to take one folder ID, right? So let's say I will take this folder ID. Okay, and where folder ID is equal to this. Okay, and let me run for this, where folder ID is equal to this. So it will help you to understand in detail, okay, about the requirement. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, let me take this data in Excel, so it will be easy for me to help you to understand the requirement. Okay, so this is my folder table. Okay, let me copy with header. So this is my folder name. Okay, so just imagine this is folder name. That means just consider in the medical world, we call this as a group insurance plan. Okay, so we'll not go more detail in about the functional side, but just to understand on a high level, okay, what is the requirement. So this is a folder. Let's say this is the insurance plan of the Infosys company. Okay, so this is group medical plan. Okay, and this is a folder ID for this insurance plan. Okay, and they have created multiple version for this. Okay, so let's say this is my data, copy with header, and let me put here. Okay, so this is my, you can see that this is my folder ID, and this is referenced here right in the child table. Okay, so this is my folder version table. Okay, now the requirement is that, okay, so if you can see that this is my folder version numbers, this is my folder version state IDs. Okay, so let's say these are the identity column. Okay, and this is the folder version numbers. Now the issue is with the folder version numbers and the folder version state ID that we have to fix. Okay, so what the requirement is that, okay, so if you can see, this is the 2025 version 1 2.0 for 2025, and then 2026, you can see that these are the four versions: 1 to 1.0, 2.0, 2.1, and 3.0. So the requirement is that we have to figure out the latest version. Okay, the latest version of every folder. Okay, this is the first requirement. Okay, second requirement is that that folder version should be 2026. Okay, and third thing is that we have to find out the previous version of that latest versions folder state ID. Okay, folder state ID should be 3 for the latest version, and the latest version and the previous version. Okay, so in my case, this is my previous version, right? So for the previous version, the folder state ID, if 2, Okay, this is the problem. Okay, so that was the requirement. So I have to figure out all the 2026 folder versions, and for that, for 2026 version, I have to find out if the latest version is 3, then I have to find the previous version, and if the previous version folder state ID is 2, I have to update this folder version flow state ID as a 1. Okay, so this was the requirement. I hope you are clear with the requirement, right? So this was the problem, and this is what green. Okay, so I have to update this to 1. Okay, so this is my folder version state ID. So I have to find out this folder version state ID for this table. Okay, so this is my folder version ID. Okay, and this is the folder version state. It's before it's 2, and I have to mark this as a 1. Okay, so this is what the requirement. I hope you are clear with the requirement. Very interesting. This video will help you to understand the exact use of row number and the lead that Windows functions, how I use these functions, and also I'm helping you to understand how I'm making logging of this. So in case if data is incorrectly updated, in that case, how I can roll back this, how I can track this, all these records, which folder version ID is updated or not. Okay, so we are going to write a logic now, so that will help me to understand the folder version ID, previous folder version ID. In that scenario where it should be 2026 version, first thing. Second, the latest version for workflow state ID should be 3, and third scenario is that its workflow state previous version workflow state ID should be 2. Okay, so in that case I have to update this to the 1, and this is going to be solve their problem, because just imagine this 3 is maybe for major version, that 2 is for a minor version, so it is in progress, that folder. Actually, that's why they are not able to edit, or maybe they are not able to take actions on this insurance plan, actually for latest insurance plan for 2026. Okay, so you might be wondering why it's 2026, though currently I'm just recording this video and it's 2025. Why this is 2026? So I don't want to go more into the detail, but just on a high level, this is just the insurance companies are preparing the 2026 plans right now, and they will get approved from the government. Okay, so they are in this process to change or creating this plan. Okay, so I hope you understand the requirement now. Okay, and they are not able to edit because of this workflow state ID is 2. Now why this issue comes, what is the root cause for that, that is a different story. Okay, that will understand, that's not a scope of this video. Okay, our current scope is that we have to fix this issue. This was I fixed in the last week only. I got a call from my techno managers, and they asked me to, Kiran, we have to write a fix to find out all these folders where the folder version state ID is 3 and previous version is 2, and we have to mark them as a 1. So we have to find out this folder previous folder version ID, and we have to work on this scenario. Okay, so I said that's fine, and let's see technically how I identified this. Okay, so I will tell you the simple. So for this when I got this requirement, it was for 87 folders. I have to do this, and I'm glad that I have reproduced this scenario on my local machines, but I have only I think 18 folders here. I have created this scenario here, so where you'll find some good folders where that scenario is not available, so those are the not blockers. So just imagine in my main database there was 400 plus folders. Out of that there is problem for 87 folders. Okay, so same way I have created this scenario here where I have the 18 folders. Okay, and out of that 18 folders I have to find out this scenario. This scenario is applicable for, sorry, we have to find out for which folders this scenario is applicable. Okay, so just imagine, just looking at this one folders, I can easily say that, right? So this is the scenario, this folder is applicable to update this. So I have that folder version ID, and I can directly go and update this. But just imagine I have the 87 folders, so going through each and every single folders, finding out this manually will be difficult. I have to write some SQL logics that can help me to figure out immediately how many folders are there, right? And for that folders I have to find this previous folder version ID, and for this folder version ID I have to update this to 1, right? So this is what the requirement. Okay, so let's go and try to understand this, how we can implement this technically. So simple, I will go and I will do a partition by folders. I will do a row number function. Okay, and for the row numbers I will use the order by this folder version ID. This is identity column, right? So I will pick up this first and second row. So I will get, if I do this row number, or if I use a row number for this, okay, so I will do it by order by folder version ID descending, so that I will get the uh, row number of 1 for this, rank is 1 for this, 2 rank for this, 3 rank for this, 4 rank for this, 5 rank for this, and 6 rank for this, right? Because I will do order by folder version ID descending, right? So, and I'm interested in first 2 records only, right? Because I'm doing order by descendings and I want to check the latest version, and along with the latest versions, I have to check first and second row. And in first row I have to check if for this first rank row, if the folder version state ID is 3, and for the next row, if the folder version state ID is 2, that means it's come into my scenario, come into that problem. So I will pick up this folder version ID, and for this folder version ID, we'll update this to. Okay, so how to do this partitionings, and how I can get this next value using the lead, that will understand technically. Okay, sounds good. I hope the requirement is clear to all of you. Okay, so let's go here and let's try this for first for one folder actually. And okay, and with the one folders, it will be easy to do this the same for all the folders, all the applicable folders. Okay, so what I will use here, so simply as I said, I will use with function cte. Okay, so let's go with the syntax with cte as, okay, here is select star from fl, there is my schema. Okay, fl dot folder f join fldr dot folder version. Okay, fv on f dot folder id is equal to fv dot folder id. Good. So if I do this, I will get all the records, which I don't want all the records. So I will go with some required records. F dot name, that will be my folder name. Let's go with f dot folder id. Okay. Let's go with the fv dot effective date is very important. Okay, so with the effective date, with this effective date, I will get 2026 versions only, right? So this is very important. So let me add this condition first years, where fv dot effective year, and I want this effective year is 2026, right? But effective date is something like this. So out of that, I want to extract the year. Okay, so I will write year here. Okay, so my first requirement is made here. Okay, so it will give me only for this year. Okay, so for now let me comment this. Okay, and okay, I got this folder effective date. Again, I want folder state, folder version ID, which is important, right? That I want. Okay, then what I want, fv dot folder version state ID, which is again an important column for me, right? So I want this effective date, I want this folder version ID, and this folder version state ID. So I'm more interested in these 2 columns actually, right? So if I run this, I'll get the required columns only. Okay, now let's go and add the row number function. Okay, row number over partition by, it will be partitioned by my folder ID, right? Obviously. So fv dot folder ID and order by. Okay, so order by, I will do folder version ID descending. Okay, so here is my folder version ID. Let's say copy this folder version ID descending. Okay, that means my this folder version ID will get into the descending order. So something like this, right? 1, 2, 3, copy 4, something like this, right? 1, then 2, then 3, and then something like that, 4. Okay, so let's check here. Okay, and I will give the alias name for this as rank. Okay, and let me run here, and I'll try this for one folder only, where yep dot folder ID is equal to, what is the folder ID for this? Okay, let's say this is my folder ID, and run for this. Okay, sounds good. It's a 2026, and you can see that for that, where is my folder version number? Okay, sorry. So we have to add folder version number also here. Okay, so let me add fe dot folder version number as well. Okay, and now let me run this. Now, what is the problem? The multiple. Okay, fe type mistake. Sorry. Okay, interesting, right? So now you can see that. Oh, sorry, my camera is get off. Let me try something. Another camera. Okay, just wait for some time. What happens with my camera? Okay, no problem. Let's go with the technical things. Okay, so interesting. Now you can see that here is when I execute this for one folder logic, you can see that right now I have the 2020. So here is my folder version, right? 2026 third version for 2026 3.0 is now I got the one rank. For 2026 2.1 I got the second rank, and this is folder version state ID is 2, as I showed to you in the Excel, right? So the same logic is here. For 2026 latest versions I got rank 1, second largest I got second rank, third rank, and fourth rank. This is how. Now my requirement is I just want to check the latest version and it's a previous version, right? So what I will add here, so I'm more interested in to just add the rank 1 and 2, right? So so here I will take a select star from city where rank in 1 and 2. Okay, and let me execute. Interesting, right? Now I got these two things. Okay, so first is I got for this folder my latest version is 2026 3.0, and for this I got the largest version and second largest version. Okay, here I got this. So I'm interested in only first two records. Now, what I want along with that, I want to check my for rank 1, I want to check a folder state ID should be 3, and for that next records. So next records means it's the second largest, right? So this is my first latest records, and this is my second latest or second largest record. Previous records you can call it. I want to check the folder state ID 2 for this, right? So what I will do, I will use the lead function to get the value for this, right? Okay, so now let's say I got this and this, and okay, let me copy this, copy with header. I'll put here. I will explain you what I am going to do here now. So now I got this record, though, right? These two records. Now what I have to check, I have to check for first it should be 3, and in the second I have to check for the next row that 2. I want to check if the next row next value should be 2 for this workflow folder version state ID 2, right? So that I have to check. So how I can check? I can check this value with the function lead. I can check the next row value, right? So let me add that here. Okay, so what I will do, I will add here the lead function, and lead functions what I want folder version state ID, right? Folder version state ID. So lead will give me the next row value, right? So here is what I will do, lead and here I have to use again the same things, or partition by folder ID and order by rank. And this time I have to keep sorry, I have to keep rank R and K, and we'll keep the ascending order because I want in this order so that I will get the next. I can't keep here descending, right? So I have to keep this rank order as ascending 1, 2, so that I can get the next value, this value I want, right? So, and I'll call this as, okay, okay, and I will call this as a next, or if you understand the requirement, it's my previous folder version state ID, right? So this is what actually it's as per lead, it's a next, but This is as per my requirement. It's I want to find out my previous version, right? So we did order by descending. So, but functionally, I want to check the previous value, right? And in lead, actually, it's the next value that I'm checking. So in both way, we are achieving our requirement. Okay, so don't worry on that part. So my previous folder version state ID, that's I want. Okay, so now if I execute this, I will get something interesting. Okay, now you can see that I got this value here, right? Now it will be easy for me to comparisons, right? I can go and check if my folder version state ID is 3 and my previous folder version state ID is equal to 2. That means I can achieve my results. But there's one more problem, because along with this folder version ID, I want this folder version ID also here, right? So for the folder version ID also, I will write the same logic so that I will get the folder version ID also in a same row, right? Okay, let me copy, paste here. Okay, now in this time I want folder version ID, right? This is the folder version ID that I want. So I will add here my folder version ID as partition by folder by ID, folder ID again. This is correct. This is correct. And here I will add my folder version ID. Sounds good. Let me execute. Now you can see that. Okay. Now I got the here is my folder version ID, latest folder version ID, and previous folder version ID is 2. And if this condition is matched, that means I got this folder previous folder version ID 25041. Now if you can go here and in the Excel, you can see that this is what my requirement, right? I have to find out this folder version ID along with the folder version state ID should be 3, right? 3 is the latest and previous is the 2. So I got this here, right? I got this 25041 folder version ID here, and this is my folder state ID, right? So interesting, right? Now I don't want a second row, right? So what if I go here and write where, let's say, rank, okay, and rank is equal to 1. Sounds good. Okay, it's creating problem, right? So I'm not getting the expected results what I want. So let me comment this and execute this. Okay, because if I using the where conditions, then that logic is not working, right? So let's try with this first. Okay, we'll save this result set in temp table and we'll try to figure out how it's working. Okay, so now interesting part, right? So now I got this row, right? I got this uh, control set. So let me keep this result sets in one table. Okay, interesting, right? Drop table if exist hash temp impacted folders. Okay, folders. And let me copy this, select start data. Let me keep here into, okay. And if I go, okay, sorry, let me cut this from here. I have to put this on top and let me execute this. Wow, sounds good. Now, if I go and do a select star from, select star from temp, I can see that I got it perfect. Sorry, I have to comment this rank. Sorry, executed this. Now sounds good. Now I got this 2 records. Now I can go and do filters. It will work, right? Because now my logic is there. Rank is equal to 1. If I execute this, perfect. Sounds good. Now this is how I got my final results. Now it's very easy for me, right? I just have to from this result set, I have just join with my main tables. I have to find this previous folder version ID 25041 and I just have to update this column. It's very simple, right? So let's go and write this statement as well. Okay, so select first, go select star from fldr dot folder version. If we join, I'm joining with this temp table. Okay, I will call this as a t on fp dot fv is folder version ID. So this is folder version ID of my main tables. I will join with my this previous folder version ID, right, from the temp table. So t dot previous folder version ID, right? Now you can see here fv dot folder version id, fv dot folder version folder version state id. So this is my existing folder version id, right? And let me t dot folder version id, okay, and t dot folder version state id. Again, I'm taking this as a t dot folder version id. Okay, let's see how it's working. Okay, sounds good. So you can see that for this folder version id, okay, so here I have to take a previous folder version id, right? Previous folder version id. So I'm doing join. I hope you understand this. So you can see that this is this is what my folder version id, okay, previous folder version id, right? And this is folder version state id. So as per the requirement, you can say this is my folder version id, and this is two is my folder version state id. So I have to update this 2 to 1, right? So along with that, what I have to figure out, this is my folder version id. Why I'm taking folder version id, instead of that I have to take previous folder version id, actually previous folder version id. Now it will look correct. Okay, so I did a join on this folder version id, and okay, to find out this record from this main tables. Okay, and now you can see that in my temp tables also I catch this record. Okay, now it's very simple. I have to do just update. Okay, so what I will do here, simply instead of this I will use update. Okay, and along with update I will update the fv, my main table, right? Fv dot set is equal to, sorry, set fv dot folder version state id. Oh my god, sorry, folder version state id equal to 1, right? This is what my requirement. I find out this folder version id, right? Previous folder version id I find out, and it is 2, and I have to mark this as a 1, right? Makes sense. So here's, I will just mark this as a 1, and it will help me to, begin transactions. If I update this, definitely it will work, and it will affect the 1 rows. Now it updated to my main tables, right? And updated this 2 to 1. Okay, so this was my end goal. Okay, so for now let me roll back this transaction, because I want to do this for all this. Okay, so whenever you are working or testing, use this practice. Okay, so always go with begin transactions and commit transactions and the rollback transaction. If it's working fine, then if it's working perfectly, then commit transactions. Okay, now this work fine for one folders. Okay, now let me comment this. Okay, and now I have to find out all the folders, right? I have to find all the folders. Interesting, right? So I will comment this code for now. Now I don't have to worry about, and I don't have to check manually for every single folder, right? I directly will go and let me use this my camera. Okay, sounds good. I'm using my laptop camera now. Okay, so interesting, right? So far you understand, right, how it's work for one folders, how I implemented this logic for my one folder, and now I'm going to write, I'm going to executing this for all the folders. I have committed this where conditions, and interesting. Okay, now you can see that I can see I got all these 18 folders here, right? Perfect. But now the interesting part is that I have to check the where conditions, right? Where my folder version state ID should be 3 and my previous folder version ID should be 2. So in that case, it will match for these records. It will not match for these records, right? 333, 3333. So it will not match for this record. So I want to skip these records. Otherwise, it will update all the records, right? It's interesting. So I have to add one more conditions here where rank is equal to this, and my latest version, that my folder version state id, folder version state id should be 3, and my previous folder version state id should be 2, right? This was my requirement. Got it? My latest version of folder state id should be 3, and my previous folder version state id should be 2, right? So I got this. Now Let me execute this. What happened? Folder version state ID I have to take here, right? Now you can see that I got what happened. Folder version state ID is 3 and previous folder version state ID. Okay. Previous folder version state ID that I have to check. Take right. Then it will work. Interesting. I have total 18 folders now, right? So let's say now I have the 10 folders. Now there is one more catch actually. Let's see. Actually, I have to add that it should be work only for 2026 version, right? And not for others folders. Okay, so let me add this. This is also the important statement, right? So it should not apply for any 2025 folders or like that. So let me show you here. If I added this 2026 and if I execute this, I should get 10 folders. Okay, so sounds good. That means it is applicable for all this. These are all our folder version numbers. You can see that all these are 2026 versions. Okay, so sounds good. So this is also, we have covered the first conditions that it should be 2026. Okay, second is that the current version should be have the folder state ID 3, and the previous version should have the folder state IDs 2, right? So based on this, I have figured out of the 18 folders, I have figured out these are the 10 folders which are the impacted folders, right? So, and I have to do an update statement for this. Now it's very easy, right? Now I have all these previous folder version numbers, right? I can see that these are my previous folder version numbers. So I just have to update in my folder version table. For this folder version ID, I just have to mark this previous folder version state ID as 1, and it will work fine for me, right? So now, interesting, right? Let me uncomment here. Let me uncomment here. Okay, and let me use begin try. Begin try. Here I will use end try, and here I will begin catch, end catch. Okay, and you can do. I will do a rollback transactions here. And before that, I will do a select error message in case if it's fail, right? And here, I just have to mark, execute this. I have to do commit transaction here. Okay, and I don't want to comment this right now. You can see that it should update how many records? 10 rows, right? So if I go and execute this, okay, perfect. You can say 10 rows is affected, 16 rows is affected. Why it's updated the 16 rows? Okay, let me roll back transaction. We'll go step by step. Okay, no problem. So I will execute this. Okay, sounds good. Into temp. And this is the problem. Okay, you can see that why it's created the problem, because if I execute this and select star into this impacted folders, so it's updated actually for this impacted folders directly, right? That is the problem, because if you can see here, I'll show you the problem. Select star from impacted folders. Okay, if I execute this, I got this 32 rows, right? Out of these 32 rows, for this 16 previous folder versions, right? One is null and one is full. So it updated for that 16 rows. So that's not we are expecting, right? So this is how actually these begin transactions help me, okay, when I'm working on such a complex data fix. Okay, so that problem is that I'm using these temp tables here, right, for join, but actually I have to use these filter conditions, right? So that is the main catch. Okay, so what I have to do here, I have to write one more temp tables, drop table if exist, and I have to use hash temp. Okay, let's say final, and I will call this as a impacted folders. Okay, and I will save this result, select star into here. Okay, now if you can see, if I execute this, I got this 10 rows, correct? Now if I go here and do a select star from, that is my final impacted folders. So I got this 10 rows. Now I have to use this previous folder version ID and I have to update, right? So simply I have to just copy this and I have to paste here. Now it will work as expected, right? It should update only 10 records, right? Okay, sounds good. Now let me try and execute this. Okay, sounds good. Here is my 10 records and go to the message. You can see that now 10 rows is affected and this is what I'm expecting, right? Sounds good. Let me roll back this because I'm going to tell you the why I'm roll back this, because see, now I'm executing this. Okay, so but this is my temp tables. If let's say in future after executing this on productions, if I feel this is not working or there is something wrong in that what I updated as per my logic, so if I want to roll back this, I want to know what are the previous folder version IDs that I have updated. So I have to keep logging of this. Okay, so I always used to do this best practice, in case if anything goes wrong, I can roll back this easily. So I always keep this logging into my physical table. Okay, so how I can do this? Okay, so this is how I used to do. I keep a physical table here. Okay, like this dbo dot is to log final impacted folders, and I will give the uh, uh, date as well. It's, let's say it's a 10th, sorry, it's a 4 October 2025. So this is how I used to keep a physical table. Okay, select star into this from final table. So this is how I can store my data into the physical table. Okay, so that will help me in futures if I want to find out what are the impacted folders version IDs that I updated. Okay, sounds good. Now let me go ahead and execute this. Okay, perfect. It's working fine. 10 rows is affected. Okay, now let me commit this and we are done. Sounds good. Okay, now if I go and check in my physical table, Control N, select star from logging table, I should get the 10 rows, right? What happened here? Let me commit one more time. Okay, done. I think my transaction was pending. Okay, no problem. Let me execute this and check. Oh my God, what happened? I'm not able to find that logging. Okay. Okay. I think I mess up with something. Maybe I committed other transactions. So that's, I'm not able to log this. Okay. That's the problem. Okay. But what we can do here, okay, let me go ahead again and I will create again this scenario. Okay, before that, let's check if my it's working as expected, what we updated. Okay, so I will tell you something. Select star from fldr dot folder version. Okay, let's try for this folder version ID if it is updated to 1 or not. Okay, we'll check for this. Okay, where folder version ID, folder version ID is equal to this. Okay, and you can see that. Okay, so I did a select start from, so you can see that folder version state ID is 1, right? So this is updated, so we have achieved this results, right? Sounds good. So we have achieved this result. So the same way it's worked for you. Now the problem is here is that I was failed to, I was failed to add these records into my physical table. So this is the best practice that I used to do. But unfortunately, I think maybe I have committed this and that's why it's already updated that records. Okay. And that's might be, I'm not able to logging this, but I will show you again one more time. No problem. I can drop this schema and I can create one more time this schema. So I can show you that problem again. Go to SQL work experience. Schema is already there, so not need to drop table if exist. Okay, I have copy here, paste me here. Okay, let me drop this first, child table, then let me drop this folder. Okay, now let me execute this one more time. Sounds good. Now you can see for this folder, let's see, here is the issue, right? This is the exact issue, right? That my latest version is 3 and my previous version is 2, right? That I explained you in the Excel as well. This is my latest version 3 and 2, right? So here is my scenario, right? 3 and 2, and that I have to fix. Okay, so I have reproduced one more time. I have populated the data, and let me now execute this. Okay, this time it should create my logging table. Okay, I'm sorry for that, guys. Something messed up with me. Okay, sounds good. Now it's executed. I can see the 10 record is there. Now I can see that that 10 rows is updated. Now you can, if you can go here and if you can execute this, it should be, instead of 2, it should be 1, right? uh Let me execute this. Yes, perfect, it's updated to 1, right? So that this is my requirement, right? I have to update this folder version ID 250411 to 1. So you can see that it's my 25041 updated to 1. Perfect. Now if I go and do a check in the logging tables, here is my logging table. Okay. Select start from, okay, logging table. This is my logging table. If I execute this, I can see that this is my logging table where I have that 10 records, right? So this is previous folder version ID. So for this folder version ID, I have the previous value was 2 and I updated it to 1. Okay, so in case if the client says if it's not working and it's mess up with the production data, please revert that changes. So in that case, it's very easy for me, right? To I can go and find this folder version IDs and I can just do update again. It's to 2, back to 2, right? So this is how I use the logging mechanism. So it will help me to track if whatever the changes that I made is correct or not, right? So I can go in the logging and I can check that. See, for one folder I did a POC, right? So this is the 25041 is my folder version ID, and that for that I have to update to 1. So I will always go and check in my logging table for this folder, for this insurance plan, or what is the previous folder version ID is correct. So that means my logic is work correctly and it's updated correctly on my production database. So this is how, guys, I fixed this issue. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comment box if you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And this is how I will get more motivations, more inspirations from you guys, that my learnings, my teachings, that helping you to understand, and I'm definitely sure that it will help you in your job as well. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for spending your time to learn this from my video. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye, and see you in the next video.